Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. Should we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we'll be relaxing as per usual. This might be a bit of a shorter episode today, probably because I need to leave in a little bit to go to a pub quiz. Because it's a first one of, well, it's not actually the first one of the year. We've already had that now, I think about it. But yes. I think normally I record the episodes after the pub quiz, but you know, I feel like it makes sense to do it before this time. I just got out, shower, and I was like, right, we got a bit of time, so we'll see. Hello everyone, we're now in Fawnhallow at 6:32 PM on Monday, February 3rd, 2025. How's things been going? Not much going on in the Gatch games at the moment, I would say. Honkai Star Rail, we're waiting till the next banner Aglaea's out on Tuesday, on Wednesday, I can't remember which day. Which is exciting. To a certain degree, it's not like whoa, mind-boggling or anything, but I am waiting to pull for her. Genshin Impact, nothing's. I mean, the Lantern Rite, the Chinese New Year, basically the Lunar New Year quests and all that. I've done with all that now, so we're sort of just biding our time until the next patch, which is quite a low content patch until we get into the next patch, which will. I don't even know what we're expecting the next patch, so who knows. Xenozone Zero, that's the main one right now. I still haven't played through the story missions and that sort of things. I certainly need to. I will say I am playing a little tiny bit of Pocket Camp I was playing last night, because as I said before, I can't remember when I mentioned it, but it's Valentine's sort of patch, so that's why there's a lot of like Valentine's-y sort of updates and furniture items and clothing items being released, which is kind of what I modeled my Pocket Camp camp after. It's like a sort of restaurant, I suppose, which I'm trying to shift it into some sort of like high class chocolatier sort of fancy, I don't know, like Hotel Chocolat, if Hotel Chocolat was like a, I don't know, like a, I'm not sure, like if I say club you're gonna think of like DJ rave club. I don't mean that club, I mean like a society, maybe that's a better way to put it, because I think that would be fun. But honestly, there's like so many different options that you can do a Pocket Camp, but I'm only doing this because what I was doing before was like what I played on Pocket Camp, and basically probably when I stopped playing is pulling for Poppy's Valentine's cookie or whatever. So I'm like, I have so many like chocolate restaurant, chocolatier themed things, I'm going to use this as my basis for whatever I'm customizing. So if anything, it's weird, I'm doing like my AU in Fawnhallow right now or something, but for Pocket Camp. So yeah, I was playing a little bit. I spent all my leave tickets trying to get like one of each of these limited time items or cookie items. I've got the ones that I wanted, and I'm just like, I'm getting too deep into it. I'm in the planning stages. I've got to find out exactly what I want for each one. The aesthetics, and now I got to like write it out. I like made a mini spreadsheet being like, okay, what sort of vibes are we going to try and target? And then I'll try and find things which fit those vibes. I don't know. Honestly, Pocket Camp is a lot nicer now, I would say, but there's a lot more conveniences than from what there were before. For one, as I said, the camp caretaker is amazing. It's one of the best things I've ever seen as an update, because it just basically means that I don't have to, if I don't play constantly, that's okay. Lily's got me. It's basically the equivalent of like work, like those timed work missions or whatever you see in a Gatch game. Even tied paintbrush. Oh, I don't know if I need to do this. 1,000,000 points? I don't know. Maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. But yeah. So that's what's happening with Pocket Camp. It's slowly but surely getting along. I guess I could talk about Valorant, because that's like something I'm playing a lot more often now. I'm definitely at the stage of Valorant where I'm like, okay, I'm now at the stage where my siege skills, I feel like, are now not hampering, but like I can't rely on just my random Rainbow Six Siege vibes. But one, the people I'm playing with are now a lot better. So it means that like with people I'm facing are high MMR, and I felt like the most apparently, I think last night, where I was just like, damn, I'm like being out mechanicked, like with just like shooting people in a shooter game. Like I feel severely outclassed. To be fair, the first two games we had were just utterly crazy. Like they were so insanely good. Bear in mind that I am like bronze 3. I forget which way the numbers go. So I'm not really that good, mind you, or anything. I wouldn't even lie and pretend to be, but pretend I am. Even in Siege, I wasn't like, I think Siege, I was silver. I think I might have been gold, but I didn't also play enough rank to really confirm that, so I think that's stolen valor. Maybe that's not something I can really claim. But yeah, I was just playing Valorant. The first 2 games were crazy, like difficult, like they were like 113, 213. Like I still did okayishly, I think, all things considered, like how difficult the situation was. But then like the next game, I think I did like atrociously poorly. I contributed nothing. We still won, but I did like nothing. And then the next 2 games, I think we lost, and I also felt like I was doing nothing. And then I played a game, and I was like, yes, this is it. I'm on form. I'm back in it. You know. And then we played another where I felt like I didn't, you know, not do anything. And I don't mean this in like in a super critical way, like I can't believe I'm doing nothing right now or anything. I think that's like overly negative. Like I am well aware that I am bronze and I've not really invested much time in actually learning how to play Valorant properly. But it's very much getting to the point where I've played enough, or at least I can watch my friends play enough to realise that, yes, hold on, it's not cutting it anymore, the Siege stuff. Like, it cut it for a while. It cut it as I was sort of, like, cruising, kind of, like, and, you know, I gave myself a bit more of a basis that, you know, obviously I was new to the game. But I think a thing that, like, definitely made me realise it the most is when my friend was like, it's really funny, in a loving way, you know, like, the way that friends rib each other. Because I'm very aware that whenever you talk about friends, like, insulting each other, out of context it just kind of feels rude, but it's like, no, you know, we built up a rapport, you know, we built up a trust, etc, etc, we know each other's lines, etc, etc. But anyway, he was like, it's very amusing watching Dear Darling play him, because when she plays, she is the only one in Valorant who is like ADSing, which means basically aiming down your sight, and then, you know, shoot someone for a kill, and then gets a kill, and then unscopes for the next kill, when normally people do it in the opposite. When normally, because in Valorant, it is much better if you don't have to not ADS, because it's like you shoot faster or something. I forget exactly what the full details are, but it's something like that. And ADSing you only do if you're like super far away from someone, and you're taking like a really long range fight or something like that. But in Siege, it's like basically the opposite, where Siege is basically like, if you are trying to have a gunfight, you should basically always be ADSing. The only downside of ADSing is it restricts your sight, essentially. Like, you can only look down your sort of reticle, there's fewer things you see, but a lot of it, since Siege is so intel based, you know, you've probably flushed out the areas around you with a drone or whatever, and you have something on, or somebody on, or a gadget on, like, flank watch. Which is actually something I was thinking about as well, because, you know, I was thinking about it more when I was reflecting on the fact that I'm carrying my Siege knowledge over to Valorant and trying to apply it, and now it's not like it really applied in the first place, but I sort of could get away with it. Now it's just like, okay, you know, now it might actively hamper me if I'm not careful. Careful in the sense, oh well, you know, not in that grander sense, mind you. At the end of the day, this is just a game, and it's also a game I'm not like super invested to like mastering or anything. I'm just playing for fun with friends, as it's the flavour of a month, flavour of a few months, who knows. I don't know how long necessarily it will stick around, but I'm having a good time doing it. But also, you know, the optimization side of my brain is like, come on, you can do this better, though. The very achievement oriented side of my brain is like, why just relax and have fun with something when you could try and be the best at something? Which, you know, I'm aware there's like, I feel like there's a level of hypocrisy I sort of carry when I'm just like, you know, you should just let yourself enjoy things, that sort of thing. And then here I am being like, okay, you know, but how do I enjoy the best or something? Which is weird, because I don't see myself as particularly competitive in the sense. I see myself as competitive in the sense that I compare against myself and I want myself to do the best, but I don't care how that is in the scope of other people, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know how best to put it, necessarily. Like, I'm not going to be competitive in a card game, or of like a party game or something. We're playing a party game, I don't care if we win or not. But if it's a party game and then like a skill is required for a thing, I want to do the best at the skill that I possibly could be doing. Which I think is a very natural thing. Like, I'm not saying that this hypocrisy that I'm sort of carrying as like a, whoa, how dare you, dear darling, you're not practicing what you preach or whatever. I feel like it's a very natural thing to want to be good at things, not even necessarily the best at something. But like, if you I think I spoke about this before, if you have a choice to be bad at something or be a choice to be good at something, I feel like a lot of people would just be like, okay, if there's no like consequence for either, I'll just choose to be good at something, even if I don't care about that thing. Like, if I gave you the option now, would you rather have expert, I don't know, what's something which is very niche, which people don't know, like windsurfing skills, or would you rather be absolutely terrible at windsurfing? You would very fairly be like, as long as there's no consequence or price I had to pay for them, yeah, I guess I'll take that expert at windsurfing skills. I mean, I feel like it's a very convoluted argument if you go the other way, being like, oh, ignorance is bliss, I'd rather not, because I don't windsurf, I'd rather not like be the like amazing at windsurfing because I don't know, then I wouldn't know what I'm missing or something. Which is fair. I mean, if you believe that way, then so be it. You know, the world doesn't march to the beat of one drum. But from my perspective, it's like, even if I don't use that, like, I mean, maybe those skills can help me in other things. I can make like a analogous relationship between like, I'm like, maybe I don't do windsurfing, but I start taking up skateboarding, and I'm like, oh, okay, this balance thing sort of like really helps. Or maybe, you know, some random, very rare situation will come up. We'll be like, oh, you know, I have opportunities to go windsurfing on holiday. Why not? It's just like, I don't know. I guess it's more opportunities rather than lesser opportunities, fewer opportunities, I should say. Well, is opportunities quantifiable? I guess it probably would be fewer. It does feel like it's quantifiable. Anyway, not the point. So, yeah, I don't mean this in a way that, you know, because I guess it is a little bit contradictory if I'm like, oh, I'm basically sort of just playing Valorant, have fun with my friends or whatever, and have a good time like that. And at the same time, I'm like, how do I become the best I can be at Valorant? I don't know why I changed my accent there for some reason. But it's just more like a thing which I've started, like, when I first started to play Valorant, I was just like, man, I'm just like bad, I don't know what's going on. But now I guess I'm getting there to the level where I'm like, I'm in the level where I'm starting to gain awareness. But yes, I still know that I'm not very good, I'm bad, but I'm starting to identify like why I'm bad. When I do something and I'm just like, why did I do it like that? It makes no sense. And then I think about it more and I'm like, was that because I played this like Siege? Was that because I'm just generally, you know, because I didn't know? I feel like a lot of the mechanical things is because I'm playing it like Siege. To be honest. And I feel like that does affect me because like I think it's kind of like a mindset thing, because as we like bring it back to that conversation, thinking about between Siege and Valorant, which were both shooters, tactical shooters I suppose, but they both feel quite different. And I said before it's because Valorant has a stronger focus on gunplay, which Siege doesn't as much. And to an extent I think that's true, but I think, you know, to come at it from the other angle, what does Siege have more of a focus on, which Valorant doesn't, is very much intel based. The intel you have on Valorant is more like soft intel, is perhaps what I call it, but with Siege, which I think I did mention before, is much more like hard intel, because everyone has 2 drones, which is insane on attack, by the way. And you know, if you're on defense, you have default cameras that you can place down, and there's so many agents or operators who can put down vision and cameras, and it makes sense because Siege's maps are huge and the sites are concentrated together in one. If you had the amount of vision you had in Siege, of like the drones in Valorant, it would be broken. It would probably be one of the most broken operators ever, I'd assume. Like just Recruit or whatever, bringing in their 2 drones into Valorant would be crazy strong, I think. Unless they were like prohibitively expensive. But the fact that you could leave them as drones and cameras which you can switch back to, I mean, think about it, like Cypher himself has like his camera as his signature ability, which you can put off the wall. It does turn invisible and that sort of thing, but the drones are like small, lightweight, you get 2 of them. You can control them active, and all your like allies can switch between and watch them as like flank watch at like any opportunity. And with Valorant, maps are much more close quarters, because with that one drone, it's mobile, you can clear so many things and it lasts indefinitely. That'd be so crazy strong, I think, in Valorant. But to be fair, a lot of things in Valorant would be very crazy and strong in Siege as well. Imagine Viper Roll in Siege, that'd be insane. Because Siege certainly has a lot more vision denial, while Valorant has a lot more vision denial. Because, as I say, it's like more soft intel that you have. you don't know exactly where people are, but you can hear footsteps. With Siege, you can always hear footsteps. So you have a lot more like stronger intel. You know if someone's sneaking because you can technically hear them. You have drones to sort of watch your back. You have gadgets to watch it as well. And I think there probably is some sort of a little bit of a mental block there where I'm just like, well, in Valorant, I don't know how to do it, you know, because I'm like, I don't know where anyone is. While in Siege, I'd be like, okay, you know, I'll take the time to drone, you know, I know that they're not being seen on this drone or this one, and this camera's like not seeing them as well. I know there's like an extent to that you can have that in Valorant, but you know, the scope of it I think is a lot more limited. Fairly so, because they're different game design decisions. Which I guess is, now I think about it, probably how it encourages gunplay more than Siege does. Because with Valorant you just sort of like you have some information and then you eliminate the possibilities, and that's why you clear corners. I mean, you clear corners as well in Siege, but you clear it with a drone most of the time rather than necessarily a reticle. You still do in Siege, don't get me wrong, and Valorant is not like you don't clear corners with like utility, but it's like, I guess it's a bit different. I guess the weighting of it is different. So anyway, I was thinking about it mainly because I was like, oh, which agent should I get next? And I've been saying that like I want to get Vi's because I love her design. It's so cool. But at the same time, I'm like, I should probably get someone like Clove to encourage me to actually take the gunfights more and actually properly get better. Especially because a lot of the time I play Sentinel. Or I play like a controller who, you know, I'm not that fast at getting onto site. Or I lurk or something. I'm like not seeing people for gunfights, and the gunfights I do see are always like ambush style gunfights, which I feel like is not good practice. You know, to practice and to get better, you gotta get out there in the field. You gotta die a few times, and in game a few times, and that's how you improve, right? Or maybe you don't. I don't really know. Maybe I'll do that, and I'll just be like, this is all pointless anyway. I would like 1 month later from now, I'll be like, whoa, I forgot we used to play Valorant. But I don't know, it does certainly feel like it might be staying here at least for a little while longer. And I am genuinely having a good time. I do like to like optimize things and make things efficient. So certainly see this as a good thing rather than anything else. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to round this episode off here. So, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now. What am I going to title this episode?